It's a dynamic car, yeah, absolutely dynamic. And this is, I think, what will surprise our customers. In the first moment, it's a typical Rolls-Royce because you don't hear anything. You push the start button and now, vroom. It is absolutely the most powerful Rolls-Royce. It's a 12-cylinder engine with a B-turbo, 6.6 liter displacement. It's fantastic. And this combined with an 8-gear transmission. It's a pleasure to drive this car, I can tell you. Satellite-aided transmission is completely new. It's a way to see what comes in the future. What would the satellite-aided transmission do on the Nürburgring? There are a lot of curves behind each other, yeah? GPS says this car is at the moment here, in front of the car is a curve. And now the system knows exactly what will follow. It knows what is the next curve and the next curve. And then it says, okay, don't shift up, shift down. And you always will have the right gear for these curves. It will make it exactly as a professional driver would do it. And that's absolutely revolutionary. You have to go to real places. And what do I mean with real places? Yeah, you have to go to the Nürburgring by making the damper setting, for example, or steering. We went to America, where it's hot. Death Valley is one famous place to test the car in these conditions. And at the end of the day, you have to go to winter tests to Sweden, northern Sweden, where you have icy conditions, where you have ice circles, you have icy roads, and you drive there at very, very low temperatures. It has to perform in any condition the driver could or the owner could drive.
The car's a fastback, and we wanted this sort of recognition that it's a fastback when we sat in the car. So we have these two leather spars, and they have a sense of focusing your attention. This is reinforced by this band of wood that runs around, almost as if you're the arrow sat within a bow waiting to be fired, and this sense of urgency and dynamic. It all pulls your attention to where the car is going.
Where we've gone more contemporary is with the Canadelle panelling. It's an open pore wood finish, so you don't have the lacquer on the veneer, so you can get very much a tactile feel of the grain. You feel very much more connected with the material. Down the centre line of the vehicle, we've got a beautiful book match that allows the grain on one side of the car to mirror on the other side of the car.
It also creates a sort of marvellous sense of cocooning and safety at the same time. What we've tried to do with the leather in Wraith is keep it as unfussy and as clean as possible, as seamless as possible.
When you touch the surface of the leather we'll use on Wraith, we want you to feel the suppleness of the leather itself. Staying true to the whole ethos of Royce, that you engineer for the customer what the customer needs, and then you try to make sure that is the very, very best of material that you can get your hands on, and that's what we do.
There's always this nervousness if somebody with a two-door car offers you a lift. You expect to step into the back, into a compromised situation. Well, we don't do that. We keep going. So there's a sense that when you're in the back of this car, the indulgence continues. Comfort starts with the perfect position of the steering wheel, your sense of confidence, the sense of effortlessness, the position of the pedals and so on. And in this, we're absolutely uncompromising. There are some little indulgences. In the center of the car, the rotary controller is a little bit lavish. It's a crystal glass surface which allows people to enter things like addresses and telephone numbers by scribing with the finger. What for me is important, vitally important, is the promise of the exterior is delivered as a reality in the interior of the car. After all, one spends most of the time with a car inside it, driving it, living within it.
Before I came to Rolls-Royce, I spent 8 years working for BMW Formula One. I was a systems engineer working on drivetrain electronics and software. The unique experience at Formula One gave you the chance to work on a project right from its infancy, all the way to the racetrack and watch it perform there. After this, I spent a year as a concept engineer at BMW working on new engine technologies. And it was there that I got the call to come to Rolls-Royce and work here at Goodwood. Satellite-aided transmission is the perfect technology for Rolls-Royce Wraith. In effect, it opens the car's eyes. How does it do this? The car knows its position from the GPS satellites, and it knows the road ahead from the GPS maps. So in effect, the car can see around the next corner. It knows how you're driving, it can sense your mood. It knows if you're driving in a spirited fashion through these curves or if you're on a rather more sedate Sunday drive. In this way, the gearbox is always set up with the correct gear. There are no hesitations. You come around the corner, you put your foot down, and you're off. From the first time I drove a car with satellite-aided transmission, it was clear to me that SAT is the quintessential technology for Rolls-Royce Wraith. SAT sharpens Wraith's already dynamic edge. It enables you to get the most out of this awe-inspiring drivetrain. And not only this, it manages to do it in a Rolls-Royce manner. There are no buttons, there are no settings to change. Wraith can sense your mood. If you wish to drive sedately, it can do that. If you wish to press on, however, it'll enable you to make the most out of Rolls-Royce's most powerful car ever. When I first saw Wraith, I was absolutely thrilled that this would be the car I would be working on. And I set my mind back a few months earlier when I was driving SAT with a former Formula 1 colleague of mine who had developed this technology. And I was convinced that SAT had to go into Wraith, the most powerful and dynamic Rolls-Royce ever. SAT is the perfect complement to the Rolls-Royce 6.6-litre V12 and the ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. The gearbox is capable of nearly seamless gear changes and is adaptive and can learn the driver's style. However, SAT, due to the GPS technology, knows the car's position on the road. It enables you to be in the perfect gear for entry and exit to the corner and allows you to make the most out of the most powerful Rolls-Royce ever. Imagine you're on a journey which takes you over a wonderful alpine pass. As you approach the mountains, the roads change from being straight roads to following the contours of the mountain. Your pulse might start to quicken. You might start to drive in a more spirited fashion. This is where SAT comes into its own. It can sense how you're driving through this wonderful, majestic landscape. Make sure you're in the right gear to make the most out of this fantastic drivetrain. But similarly, on the way home, when you want to relax and drive in a more sedately manner, the car can sense this also. And all this is done in an effortless, quintessential Rolls-Royce manner. No changing of settings and no need to push a button. A satellite-aided transmission can be likened to opening the car's eyes. It enables the car to see what you see as a driver. It enables the car to change gears as you would if driving a manual gearbox. But not only this, it can see to the next curve ahead. It has the GPS data of the maps and has the GPS data of the position of the car. Effectively, it enables the car to see around corners, be prepared for what's to come. So why do I think people buy this car? This is quite simple. As soon as somebody sees this car, they are going to want to buy it. It is the perfect skin for the most powerful Rolls-Royce ever. Wraith is the most powerful and dynamic Rolls-Royce ever. It's all about power, style, and drama. It has revolutionary technologies that augment its effortless yet dynamic driving capabilities, and an engine that delivers on the promise of the stunning fastback design. And I'm certain when your customers see this car, they will want to buy it. Wraith features the next generation of MMI technologies. This includes the Spirit of Ecstasy rotary controller with touch function, high-definition screens, as well as new Rolls-Royce graphics for the entire function. Every single part of the MMI functions have been upgraded, and this makes sure that Wraith is absolutely at the cutting edge of state-of-the-art technologies. The latest generation of voice control enables one-off commands. Without having to go through the menu, a simple sentence like "Navigate to Rolls-Royce at Goodwood" will take you straight to your destination. This represents the latest cutting-edge voice recognition software available today. The Spirit of Ecstasy rotary controller now features the touch function. This enables you to write on the controller just like you would on a phone or a tablet. This enables you to enter in words and letters for navigation destinations, to scroll and to zoom. It'll be particularly advantageous in Asian markets, where, for example, you can enter in Chinese characters rather than having to scroll through thousands of them. Wraith is the most powerful dynamic Rolls-Royce ever. It's all about power, style and drama. It also has the striking fastback good looks. This will appeal to a younger customer, maybe someone who in the past has rejected Phantom or Ghost as too formal. We can expect customers to come from the likes of Ferrari, Aston Martin, Bentley, even Lamborghini. And this will appeal to customers who are looking to marry sumptuous Rolls-Royce luxury with an involving dynamic drive.